Frank Bissoni back at courtside at the Assembly Hall with Coach Bob Nyka of the Springfield Lanphier Lions. 27-3. Bob, a remarkable year. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Frank.
What kind of a basketball team will the fans see tonight from the Lions?
Well, at the start of the year, we thought we were a run-and-gun type team, but as the year went on, teams started holding the ball on us more and more, so we developed some patience. So now we like to feel that we can run when we have the chance and hope we can slow it down when we don't have.
You were here once before in 1977, and it came down to Peoria Central, the winner that year, and Springfield Lanphier in second place. And notice the similarities. Central's here again, and here's Lanphier again.
Right. At that time, Bruce Boyle was coaching that at Peoria Central, and of course he and I went to school there at Lanphier a few years ago. I'd settle for a rematch again this year.
I can imagine. What kind of team has East St. Louis Lincoln got?
Well, I haven't seen them play. I see part of a film on them. I had a couple guys coaching or scouting for us, and they seem to be really a run-and-gun team. And they play a lot of 1-2-2 and drop back in that 2-3, but they do go with the ball, and they play good defense, and they're quick.
What will your team do defensively tonight?
Well, we hope to put pressure where we think it's necessary, and they do go shoot from outside, shoot from inside, but we'll play that 3-2 that we play most of the time and hope we can do the job with it.
Bob, what would you say the key to this basketball game will be?
Well, usually in any big ball game, if you play good defense and you rebound, you got a good chance to win, and I'm sure that'll be the case tonight.
And something special for you as a father to have a son once again on the team that you bring to the Assembly Hall.
Oh, definitely. As a kid, I always wanted to go here. We got beat in the finals of sectional. We didn't make it. But then, you know, have two boys now, and they both have to have the opportunity to step on this floor. That's a tremendous feeling.
Well, congratulations and good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back in just a moment at the Assembly Hall. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance.
I'm in the normal tournament, and after we ran off about 14 or 15 straights, then I knew that we could make it back because the guys showed me that they could make it back.
I can recall a couple of the young men named Dale and Pfeiffer that were starters for you a year ago. They're back again.
Yes, Dale and Pfeiffer has been the key players for us all year long. They've been the one. They have been the one that's been carrying us, and they've been doing a good job for us this year.
Tell us about the style that you're going to employ tonight, offensively and defensively.
Well, we play 2-3 zone defensively, and unless somebody really run us out of it, we'll stick with it. Although in the regional and the sectional, we had to come out of and play a man-to-man, and we can't do that if we have to. And we like to run. If we get the fast break, we'll run it, and if we don't, we'll set it up and run it that way. But we really like to run if we can.
Can you compare this team at all with last year's championship team? How is it different? How is it the same?
Well, scoring-wise, we're the same, but defensively, we're not. The other teams are scoring too many baskets inside on us. When we had Jackson last year, they couldn't do that, so that's the difference in the team this year and last year.
Well, I think it's a special tribute to you that you had the team that won the championship last year, and you're back here again. Congratulations and good luck.
Okay, thank you very much.
That's Benny Lewis, the head coach of East St. Louis Lincoln, the defending state champions, and now we're going to go listen to the band of New Lenox, Lincoln Way.
Assembly Hall, Tom Trent.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the coaches and players involved in our final quarterfinal round game of the day. First, for the Tigers of East St. Louis Lincoln High School with a record of 26-2. The head coach of the Tigers, 11 years at the school with a record of 214 victories, 67 losses, Benny Lewis. Number 10, Carlton Cannon. Number 11, Earl Jones. Number 24, Derek Dupree. Number 32, Freddie Towns. Number 34, Antonio Rhodes. Number 42, Terry Dale. Number 50, Freddie Jones. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the Tigers of East St. Louis Lincoln. At forward, a senior, 6'6", number 44, Mark Dale. At forward, a senior, number 33, 6'5", Dwayne Chapman. Starting at center for the Tigers, a senior, 6'6", number 30, Roderick Horn. At a guard, a senior, 6'1½", number 22, Calvin Pfeiffer.
Pfeiffer is one of the 2 returning starters on this club with a 15-point-per-game average.
And a guard for the Tigers, a senior, 5'11", number 14, Baron Wilson.
As Frank mentioned, 2 returning starters from last year's state champions. Mark Dale is already committed to Cincinnati, and Calvin Pfeiffer are the returning veterans.
And now let's meet the Lions of Lanphier High School from Springfield. The head coach of the Lions in his 9th season with a record of 130 wins, 110 losses, Bob Nika. Number 10, Michael Craig. Number 11, Darren Kelly. Number 14, Mark Allstott. Number 21, Mike Wolasek. Number 23, Ralph Matthews. Number 32, Clark Douglas. Number 35, Jerome Taylor. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the Lanphier Lions. At forward, a senior, 6'7", number 40, Kevin Gamble.
Gamble averaging 17.3 points per game, the scoring leader for the Lions.
At forward, a senior, 6 feet tall, number 22, Les Lee.
Leslie Lee, the hero of the super sectional. He shot with 5 seconds left, won it over Lockport.
At center for the Lions, a sophomore, 6'8", number 24, Ed Horton.
Horton averaging 11.6, just a sophomore.
At a guard, a junior, 6'5", number 30, Moose Nika.
Coach Bob Nika's son, good scorer, good outside shooter.
The guard for the Lions, a senior, 5'7", number 20, Clarence Brigady.
And Brigady, a good little playmaker, also has good outside shooting range with a 5.2 average.
The officials for this quarterfinal round game are Marvin Carlson of Lombard and Jim Went of LaGrange Park.
And one of your network sponsors is the Cal State Capital in East St. Louis, just across the mighty Mississippi from the metropolitan St. Louis area. So the state champions against the challengers from Springfield Lanphier out here this evening. And we're about set to go. East St. Louis Lincoln attired in orange uniform, trimmed in black and white. The Lions from Lanphier in gray, trimmed in black and orange. So the color schemes are similar. Lanphier, however, in the gray uniforms, they have the opening jump ball. Clarence Brigady with it. Brigady brings it across, and immediately we see that 2-3 zone from East St. Louis Lincoln. Brigady on the point. Leslie Lee stepping out and grabbing the pass over there is number 40. He's the fine senior forward, Kevin Gamble, the team scoring leader for the Lions. Boy, they want a real thriller in the super sectional run. Took a lead with 31 seconds left. Actually gave up a lead to Lockport, then won it with 5 seconds remaining. A lead shot. That's Leslie Lee, misfired.
Well, beating Lockport's always a real trick.
Yeah, the way the tempo they play on it certainly is. The rebound went to Dwayne Chapman. Down quickly with the basketball. East St. Louis Lincoln, Mark Dale. He's already committed to Cincinnati. Veteran ball player. Member of last year's ball club, and the Tigers turn it over as the ball got away from Baron Wilson. If I recall correctly, Frank, you may remember this. I think Baron Wilson was the 6th or 7th man last year, wasn't he?
He did play quite a little bit. And as you mentioned, Lockport, I believe Lockport's Bob Basarich has won 20 games 10 years or more in a row.
He has an amazing record, one of the great records in the history of the state.
Moose Nika. Moose from the baseline makes it 2-0 Lanphier. Up quickly, the Tigers of East St. Louis. Baron Wilson Really a one-guard set right now, and now swinging out is Calvin Pfeiffer to help out. Left corner, jumper on the iron, rattles around. The shot was taken over there by Dwayne Chapman, misfires, but East St. Louis Lincoln controls it. Benny Lewis's ball club. Here's Pfeiffer on the drive, kicks the pass off, back to the hoop, shot no good. Tip on the inside by Dale is good.
Good tip.
Frederick Horn had an initial swat at it, but then the follow-up by Mark Dale. Loops Nika down to Briggity. Briggity loses the basketball, picked up by Mark Dale. The game is deadlocked at 2 apiece. East St. Louis Lincoln down quickly. Pfeiffer,
Pfeiffer found an opening, didn't he? Just slipped his way through.
He's a great athlete. Pfeiffer can do so many things on the court.
Found an opening, I'm not sure was there. Got it with the left hand. 4-2, East St. Louis Lincoln. On the drive, the counter, and up for the bucket is the sophomore, Ed Horton.
Well, men, here we go again.
Yeah, they're picking the pace up already in this one. 4-4 ball game. Lincoln down with the basketball. In the middle of the Horn. Horn straight away with the quick jumper. Refuses to go, and the rebound controlled by the Lanphier Lions. Off with it is Kevin Gamble. Ron Nikovich, I want to know what you think of Lanphier's fine sophomore Ed Horton as the evening progresses.
Well, I've been looking at him.
Like to take him back to LaGrange, huh?
Yeah.
We can find a spot for him, maybe? Clarence Briggity to Leslie Lee. Pretty good zone from the Tigers. There's Briggity over the zone. Roll. Got the roll. Drop for him.
I'll tell you another thing, man. I think we've looked at every zone alignment conceivable. With the 3 out and 2 in zone of Lanphier, we've seen a 1-2-2 to 2-3 to 1-3-1.
And Dale turn around in the middle of the Lanphier zone. Can't get it to drop. Control off the defensive iron with the basketball was Leslie Lee. Lee's one of those blue-collar type ball players. Just get the job done for you. 6 even, 175 a senior.
The kind of kid that wins a lot of games for you, too.
Sure does. Long push, up and off. No, actually a long jumper, really. Rebound is controlled by Mark Dale underneath. Dale to Pfeiffer. He was outstanding last year. Right down the lane, lays it up, misses it. A foul, and they're going to call the block. And this will go to Ed Horton. First foul of the ball game.
You see the replay on this, and of course, he has to give that airborne player an opportunity to land. He occupied the space that ordinarily would belong to the airborne player. He moved in on him.
All right, the ball will be inbounded now by the East St. Louis Lincoln Tigers.
Art, I don't know whether you mentioned or not, East St. Louis Lincoln has played 20 games away from home this year. 20.
Amazing.
No, they didn't. They've obviously won most of them. From the side, Horn shot. And they see what they're going to call. It's going to go against Lanphier. I thought for a moment they might call Horn for pushing off, but it goes the other way, and this one goes to Kevin Gamble of Lanphier. And at the line will go Dwayne Chapman. Chapman with the player fouled. 2-shot violation. 6-4 ball game. East St. Louis Lincoln trailing Lanphier, but the opportunity is high. Chapman's first free throw dips in and out. No good. As a free throw shooter on the year, Chapman hasn't been there very often. 5 of 18, just a 27% shooter. Got the second. 6-5, Lanphier leads by a digit. 4:45. Let's go in the first period. The Lions defensive zone. 6'8" sophomore Ed Horton to help out over to Moose Nika. Well out on the floor to Leslie Lee. They like to get the ball in the hands of Clarence Briggity and let him center it. Briggity top of the free throw circle. Here's Moose Nika back to Briggity. Briggity gets it in the middle. Putting it on the floor is Horton. The ball is knocked away from Kevin Gamble, actually. Off to Briggity, and here is a reach-in. Call for the foul is Barron Wilson. Barron Wilson picks up the personal foul for East St. Louis. Moose Nika will be the trigger man on the out-of-bounds play for Lanphier's Lions, Capital Conference champions, 27-3 coming in here tonight. They lost to Decatur MacArthur 51-49, to Morton in the Pekin tournament 70-67, and to Urbana 59-51 also in the Pekin tournament. This is the club that knocked Quincy out of the running, remember, in the sectional. Nika had long range, air ball, rebound Lee, and he was fouled. Lee went back hard to the offensive board. Couldn't get the shot to drop, but a personal foul is going to go on the inside, and they whistle it against Dwayne Chapman.
Here's the outside shot by Moose Nika. Skipped off the backside of the rim where it ordinarily will miss on a shot like that. And, of course, the foul from the rear.
Leslie Lee with a good offensive rebounding job that trip. He's at the line. Can't get her down.
It's a good point for our young players in the audience to recognize a shot being taken from that side when missed is always going to skip off on the other side. So rebound position on the weak side is very important.
Lee, 74% free throw shooter, 58 of 78, but he misses the pair here. Score remains at 6-5 Lanphier, and East St. Louis Lincoln brings the ball across the timeline rather quickly. Calvin Pfeiffer goes 6'1 1/2, 169, a senior with a 15-point per game average. Out to Barron. Barron's long jump shot. Rebound, hauled down by the sophomore Ed Horton. Horton to Gamble, and now right back to Clarence Brigady is Bob Nika up off to our right. You can't see him on the screen right now. Nika wants his ball club to calm down, run its offense, play for the high percentage shot. Baseline, jumper, Gamble, dips in and out. No good. Kevin Gamble had the shot about halfway down. Wouldn't drop for him. Here are the Tigers on the run. Pfeiffer has a strip by Brigady. Beautiful steal by Clarence Brigady of Lanphier. All right, Brigady takes a good look at the court. Left side to Nika. In the corner. To Kevin Gamble. To Moose Nika. Around the hoop, and you saw it. He dropped.
He's found a spot.
I'll tell you, he can shoot out there.
Art, I asked his dad, Coach Bob, what his first name was, and he said, we call him Moose.
Well, you asked the question anyway, didn't you?
Yeah.
Roderick Horton to Pfeiffer. So all a reporter can do is ask. Here's Barron. Barron to Pfeiffer on the perimeter. Oh, good. Rebound. All down by Ed Horton. Horton, 6'8", 205-pounder. 8-5, Lanphier by 3 over the defending state champion Tigers of East St. Louis Lincoln. East St. Louis entry in the orange and also in the 2-3 zone. In the gray trimmed in black and orange, the Lanphier Lions of the Capital Conference. Jumper Gamble got it down baseline.
Fine shooter. Came off a skip pass again, I might add. Seen a lot of that today.
First bucket for Gamble. He'll score more than that. He's averaging 17.3 on the year for Lanphier. 10-5, Lanphier Lions with Bob Nika leading. Arlen Loper, who coached one of their great ball clubs down here. The team has finished second. I think he feels this ball club is at least on a par with that one. Barron on the perimeter.
Well, that's a fine compliment to this team.
Barron
because
will.
that team could really pass the ball.
Yeah. That was Jimmy Kopatz in that crew, wasn't it?
Right.
Kopatz, who played quarterback at Illinois. Traveling violation in the defensive zone. Barron Wilson is the ball player, had that last effort. We got a timeout. 2:07 for the first quarter. Springfield Lanphier 10, East St. Louis Lincoln 7, and one of your network sponsors is John Deere. And so forth, we'd like to hear from you. Just right, high school basketball, box 678, Bloomington, Illinois, 61701. High school basketball, box 678, Bloomington, Illinois, 61701. East St. Louis Lincoln inbounds the basketball. I think the more you see of Benny Lewis's ball clubs, the more you respect the way he has this team extremely well disciplined and certainly playing his style. There was a sweeping hook on the inside by Mark Dale, couldn't get it down, and a foul coming off the board, and the foul is whistled on Dwayne Chapman. But I think Lewis certainly proved last year, Ron, that he can do a very fine job with his kids.
Well, he certainly did a year ago, and that ball club a year ago showed great poise under conditions that were didn't favor them especially, I don't believe.
Tough tournament for them, and they won it impressively, and when all
sure
was
did.
said and done. Leslie Lee for Lanphier. Can't get it to go. Rebound Gamble. They're going to call Kevin for pushing off on Mark Dale as he got rebounding position. That's foul number 2 on Kevin Gamble. The other night, Frank Massoni be interested in this. All broadcasters are. They played the super sectional at normal, including halftime, in an hour and 15 seconds.
Wow.
Or pardon me, an hour and 15 minutes.
An hour 15.
I knew I'd follow up the story.
You were talking about Benny Lewis a minute ago. In the last 4 years, Benny Lewis's record at East St. Louis Lincoln is 102-9.
Who beat him?
That's staggering, isn't it?
You know, that's the old story about the guy that had a 40-1 season. The first question that's asked him, who beat you?
Yeah. And all reporters ask that. Calvin Pfeiffer picked up the foul, by the way, his first. For Lincoln, they take Chapman out, and on in his stead is Antonio Rhodes, 6'3", 165, a senior. Let's see if we have another change out there. I think Rhodes is the only one. Dale stays in. Roderick Horn stays in. Lanphier on the attack. Lanphier went with 5 players, the distance in the super sectional. 10-7 ball game. Lanphier leads. Nobody scored for a while. 1:15 for the quarter. Art Kimball, Frank Massoni, and Ron Nikovich, the head basketball coach at Lyons Township High School in LaGrange. With you, Leslie Lee from the side. Can't get it. Rebound controlled by Roderick Horde. And also Ron Nikovich, who will be the U.S. Junior Olympic coach upcoming. He'll be very, very busy this summer. On the drive, it's Mark Dale.
A great move to the basket by Mark.
Boy, is he strong. 6'6", 200-pound senior. He's an all-stater.
And quick.
10-9 ball game. Lanphier by 1. In a contest that figures to be nip and tucked. The winner meets Thornton of Harvey tomorrow morning. Well, I guess actually that'll be the afternoon, the matinee portion of our morning afternoon affair. Kevin Gamble, baseline, bullseye.
Wow. Does he like that corner? Is he comfortable?
Lanphier kids, when I've seen them, Ron, they're spot shooters. They get to the spot on the floor.
Well, we see that true with Gamble, and we see it true with Moose.
Here's the long-range jumper by East St. Louis Lincoln. The retaliation, Antonio Rhodes. First shot he's taken, coming off the bench.
Antonio found his spot, too.
He had 11 points in the super sectional.
I wonder if maybe East St. Louis is not perhaps the deeper of the two. And as I say that, Lanphier makes a substitution. Mark Alstott comes in the ballgame, 6'1", 160, a senior, replacing Leslie Lee. But the reflection back to the super sectional, Lanphier played only 5 players, but that is not necessarily indicative of depth, is it, Ron?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
I would say that one thing about high school basketball with the 4 quarters is the fact that that can be done.
Okay. First period is history. It's airtight. Springfield Lanphier 12, East St. Louis Lincoln 11. One of your network sponsors, Lanphier leading by 1 over East St. Louis. Lincoln's defending state champions, 12-11. Very, very competitive basketball game. Both clubs using zone defenses, although, Ron, they're very in the zones. We're looking at a 2-3 from the East St. Louis entry and a 3-2 pretty much from the Lanphier.
Right, just the opposite.
Set to go. It's going to be Kevin Gamble jumping for the Lanphier Lions, and for East St. Louis Lincoln, Roderick Horn. And they say that Gamble hit the ball on the way up. So the basketball belongs to the Tigers. The losses this year for East St. Louis to St. Louis Northwest, 61-56, and the Chicago Mount Carmel in the Illinois State Classic, 56-49. But as we mentioned earlier in our coverage today, Mount Carmel, a pretty good ball club. And the Tigers weren't playing real well at that time. Baron Wilson now in the left wing to number 22, Pfeiffer. Here's Horn in the middle, number 30. Antonio Rhodes, he got another one.
He found his spot, too.
As far as I can recall, that's the second shot for Antonio Rhodes, and he's got them both. 13-12, East St. Louis Lincoln has the lead. Alstott comes cross court to Kevin Gamble for Lanphier. To Moose Nika. Now out to Clarence Brigady on the point. Left side, here is Nika wearing number 30, the coach's son. Excellent perimeter shooter, goes about 6'5". Brigady on the right side to Alstott, still working against that 2-3 zone defense for the Tigers. Kevin Gamble gets a little double-team pressure as Dale slides over there to him. And also Calvin Pfeiffer, baseline jumper by the sophomore is good, Ed Horton.
Well, you want to know about Ed Horton, and he can play.
I'll take your word for it. 14-13. Very impressive young ball player. 1-point lead to Lanphier. Now we get on that seesaw a little bit at this point. From the side, Rhodes misses. Flat-footed rebound and a steal and a bucket. That time, the sophomore got caught napping a little bit. The ball went to the floor. Horton didn't play it real tough, but he turned around and committed the foul and gave up the field goal as well. That, I guess you'd have to call a sophomore mistake against Mark Dale.
Which was immediately corrected by the veteran coach, Nika.
All right, there's your stats on the first period. 5 of 15 for East St. Louis Lincoln, 33%. Lanphier 6-12. Free throws, not really significant at this point. Rebounding 10-8, East St. Louis Lincoln with the lead. And a free throw by Dale misfires. He tried to complete the three-point play, so East St. Louis Lincoln by 1 at this point at 15-14. Brigady, right side to Mark Alstott.
Lincoln here.
A little bit of a trap. They really put the pressure on Kevin Gamble in the left corner.
And I think that's the
left-hand
design
corner
of
of your
it.
screen. They're still zoning, however.
Yeah, it's a 1-3-1.
Moose Nika inbound. Nika for Lanphier to Clarence Brigady. Right side to Alstott. Back to Brigady. Now Brigady gets in a couple of more steps. He can hit that shot out there, but it's thrown away and stolen. East St. Louis Lincoln. Calvin Pfeiffer brings it across, and he's guilty of palming the basketball, say the official. Working this one, a couple of Ron Nikovich's old buddies from up in the suburban area. I'm sure he knows Marvin Carlson from Lombard very well.
Oh, yes.
All right, the ball will be inbounded by Alstott to Brigady. 15-14. East St. Louis Lincoln by a point, 6:16 to go in the first half of the ball game. Brigady to Alstott, back to Brigady. Kevin Gamble. Gamble in the right corner. That zone pretty active for East St. Louis Lincoln. They're in the orange. Brigady backpedals a little bit. On the right side to Kevin Gamble. Now there's Brigady launching the jumper. In and out. Rebound, loose on the floor. Antonio Rhodes up with the basketball. Here's the lead to Baron Wilson. He got it. And a foul on Allstott.
It's a good call.
East St. Louis Lincoln didn't lose any quickness from their state champs of a year ago. They can still fly.
On the replay, we'll discover the good call on the party official because the player was airborne when he moved in. He's got to allow him space to land.
Baron Wilson under good control and not a real big guy. 5'11", 160.
Tigers come into the tournament on a roll. They've won 18 straight.
That is a good roll, too. I still believe in momentum, Frank. It's a tremendous thing in sports. Baron Wilson misses the free throw, and in the second quarter, East St. Louis Lincoln has had 2 free throw attempts. The tail end of 3-point play potential, so they missed both of them. Lincoln with a 3-point lead, 17-14. Allstott to Moose Nika, baseline left for 2.
And there's the skip pass resulting in the score.
Nika with pretty good range, and outside shooting could well be a factor. Turnarounder by Horn was no good. And flat-footed with the rebound, Mark Allstott, who goes 6'1", 160, a senior. Here's Nika. This time a little on the outer iron. Bringing it up quickly is Wilson to Calvin Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer pulls it up. It is good.
Well, there's that PJ.
Pull-up jump shot by Calvin Pfeiffer. I remember the dunk he had here last year. Remember that, Frank? Took off about the top of the free throw circle.
Lots of exciting things happen when the ball's in Calvin Pfeiffer's hands.
Indeed. Kevin Gamble for Lanphier, 19-16. Defending state champions, East St. Louis Lincoln by 3 at the 4:47 mark in the game's second period.
A lot of college coaches watching him here tonight would all like to have him.
I would think this tournament will produce the usual number of college prospects, despite the fact we maybe don't have as many highly publicized superstars in the state this year as some years.
Well, some of the great players are underclassmen, too.
That's right.
That's for sure.
There's ample talent here to whet the appetite of the college recruiter. In the middle, turnaround by Horton is no good. Rebound, hauled out of traffic by Antonio Rhodes. Boy, he's giving him a lift. Pulls it up at the free throw line, won't go. Rebound pulled down by Ed Horton. Horton for Lanphier to Clarence Briggity. Still 19-16. Thus far, both clubs have done a good job of limiting the opposition to just one shot. And Lanphier is going to take a timeout to talk it over. 4:15 to go in the half. Timeout, Springfield Lanphier. They trail by 3. East St. Louis Lincoln 19, Lanphier 16, and we'll continue in just a moment. Play about to resume. Lanphier will make the play, and Moose Nika has a big smile on his face as he comes over to grab the basketball. So Moose doesn't appear to be too concerned at the moment. His father on the bench, however, may be more concerned with his ball club down 3 at 19-16. Coaches worry more than the kids anyway, don't they, Ron?
Well, that's why they get all those gray hairs. These guys got to learn how to settle down and relax.
The official was smiling, too. He and Nika were talking.
Gamble on the baseline. Can't get it to drop, but good hustling recovery there by Clarence Briggity to Allstott. Leslie Lee is going to check back in for Lanphier in just a moment. Nika. Left wing, Briggity right side. They've swung Allstott to the point and put Briggity on the wing. Horton's jumper won't go after the Gamble's jumper. Horton had the rebound. The ball comes way out on the floor, and Roderick Horn makes a great leap and controls the basketball for the Tigers. In the corner, Antonio Rhodes. This one rolls off. You're almost surprised when he misses one. Pulled down by Kevin Gamble. Gamble to Clarence Briggity. All right, Briggity back to Allstott. Just walking the ball up. Mark Allstott for Lanphier. 3:26 to go in the half. It's been 19-16 for a long, long time in this one. Moose Nika now dribbles out of traffic. They're not really challenging that zone totally. Working for the type of shot they want. Nika on the perimeter, dips in and out. The rebound controlled by Mark Dale. Big Mark pulls it out of there for East St. Louis Lincoln. 6'6", 200-pound senior. He's been on every All-State team I've seen. Roderick Horn turns, shoots, no good. Inside of Dale, good rebounding position for the sophomore Ed Horton for Lanphier. Pulled it down. That's an interesting duel to watch on the inside. 44 in the orange uniform for East St. Louis Lincoln, battling the sophomore 24 in the gray for Lanphier. Briggity, there's it. Pulled down. Antonio Rhodes to Pfeiffer. Here we go. He lays it up and didn't get it. Tipped in by Antonio Rhodes.
Great tip. Just hung in there.
Rhodes was there trailing the play. Actually got the pass to Pfeiffer, then came right back down the floor.
He never quit on his buddy, did he?
21-16, and we have a little pressure against Lanphier in the defensive zone. As a result, Antonio Rhodes picks up his foul.
Pfeiffer took about a 12-foot glide step to the basket there and had the ball right off the rim, but Rhodes was right there to follow.
Thought he was going to dunk it for a minute.
It crossed his mind, I'm sure.
I'm sure it did.
It always does. It always does.
Mark Allstott is at the line. Leslie Lee is going to come in for Allstott, but of course he's involved in the free throw situation. That is a 15 foul on East St. Louis Lincoln. Lanphier's on the bonus. The free throw is no good. 5-point lead to the defending state champions, playing very well in the second quarter. Calvin Pfeiffer with it. Art Kimball, Frank Fasoni, Ron Nikovich with you. Hope you're enjoying the coverage this evening. Back with you tomorrow morning, bright and early, 11 o'clock. Airtime for the semifinal session from the Assembly Hall. And they wrap it up tomorrow night. Baron Wilson from the baseline. Can't get it. Ball down off that defensive iron by Ed Horton. He's a jumping jack.
Fine aggressive rebound.
Lanphier needs a bucket. Lincoln wants to turn him aside. Lincoln with the 2-3 zone. It's been sticky. And the Lions, who have had good success trying to live on outside shooting right now, having trouble getting the ball inside. Gamble, baseline left, and Micah. They really haven't had a shot in the paint, I don't think, in the second quarter. They're not going to try to get one. No, Horton has to kick it out of there. Briggity backpedal to Allstott on the right way. Back to Clarence Briggity. Then Micah. Micah at the baseline. Back to Briggity. Briggity faked the shot, then kicks the pass off to Allstott on the right side of the floor. And that zone defense for East St. Louis Lincoln is tough. Pass in the middle for Horton. They lost it out of bounds.
Lost their patience a bit.
Excellent discipline by East St. Louis Lincoln in their zone defense. They really packed it in and really played well.
Mark Dale and Roderick Horn, both at 6'6", take up a lot of room, a lot of arms down there on that D.
Well, Horn played a lot on that ball club last year, too. He wasn't a starter. Of course, Dale was. So really, out of his starting five, Pfeiffer, Wilson, Horn, Dale all played a great deal. Two of them, Dale and Pfeiffer, were full-time regulars on a state championship club. 5-point lead. East St. Louis Lincoln with the basketball. Baron Wilson. The Baron's grown a little bit since last year. Looks a little bit bigger. Up to 5'11" now. Calvin Pfeiffer out between the rings. He just looks it right. As Lanphier changed it up defensively a little bit, Rhodes tries the jumper, and he was fouled and ended up on the deck, being assisted from the floor. Give the foul to Clarence Briggity. Almost looked like at least a couple of man-to-man principles being used by the Lions there, Ron, for a moment, as they really came out to challenge on the shot.
Well, both defenses are not stand-up zones. They certainly employ man-to-man principles. They have rules that they are following as far as the defense is concerned. There's a certain design involved in both, and a great deal of aggressiveness as well.
Yeah, there's really no such thing as a stand-up zone anymore anyway. On the competitive level, Rhodes drops it through. He definitely was fouled in the act of shooting.
Yes, and the shot didn't have a prayer, and Briggity, that's the kind of shot you want a team to take, and they fouled him probably 20 feet from the basket.
All right, Lincoln has inched into a 6-point lead and make it a 7-point lead. Rhodes, an excellent shooter on the floor anywhere. This made both throws to make it 23-7 or 16. Lanphier is now trailing by 7. Leslie Lee back out there for Allstott. Here's Lee to Nika. Back to Lee. To Moose Nika on the perimeter, and he got it.
He likes that spot.
Nika about 17 or 18 feet with that soft jump shot, 23-18. Lanphier needed that because suddenly East St. Louis Lincoln was starting to pull away. The Tigers on the left wing. Pfeiffer answers. Beautiful. High arching right-handed jumper by Pfeiffer. 25-18, and it's Lincoln back to the 7-point lead with 17 seconds to go in the first half. Nika down the left sideline as you view it on your TV screen, and there is a foul whistled inside. And it's going to go against Pfeiffer of East St. Louis. So on Pfeiffer, it's foul number 2. At the free throw line will go Kevin Gamble. Gamble had 2 buckets in the game's first period. Has not connected in the second quarter. He's a good free throw shooter, though. 808, 81%, 59-73, and he got it. 25-19. Can pull Lanphier within the 5 of East St. Louis Lincoln. The winner meets Thornton. First game tomorrow will be Peoria Central against Chicago Marshall. And we have apparently a lane violation on the second free throw. Misfired anyway. 25-19 score with 10 seconds left. Boy, what a traditional field, gentlemen. Thornton of Harvey in there. Peoria Central in there. I think Marshall's been here a few times. Regardless of who wins this ball game, very traditional field. Calvin Pfeiffer drifting, gliding, barreling through the lane, and for his trouble, he picked up his 3rd personal foul.
Coming in on the replay here, we have a foul coming up there, and he just barreled his way through there. And, of course, it's a good call by the official. Clear charge.
They're going to put Ed Horton at the line. Look on the replay like it should have been Moose Nika or Horton. Now checking in quickly is Benny Lewis isn't going to take a chance at Pfeiffer picking up his 4th foul before halftime. He has reinserted Dwayne Chapman into the lineup. At the line is Eddie Horton. Horton has 4 points, first free throw attempt of the evening. The sophomore as a free throw shooter isn't bad, 66%, 39 of 59. That one caroms off. Rebound, Leslie Lee won't get it down. Gets it back. Struggle in the corner. Gamble had his hands on the basketball, but they just ran out of time. Ran out of playing floor, too, for that matter. And that's it at the end of 1 half at the halftime break. There you see the score. East St. Louis Lincoln, the Tigers 25, the Lanphier Lions 19, and one of your network sponsors, Country Companies Insurance. Time break. First for the defending state champions from East St. Louis Lincoln, it's Mark Dale, their all-stater with 6 points. Dwayne Chapman, as you see, has only 1 point, a couple of fouls. Roderick Horn, a 6'6" center, has not scored as yet in the ball game. Calvin Pfeiffer with 6 points, but 3 personal fouls. That could be very pivotal. Baron Wilson has scored 4 points and a couple of buckets, and Antonio Rhodes off the bench with an 8-point total to actually lead East St. Louis Lincoln. Did it in a reserve role. Now for the Lanphier Lions. Lanphier has had 4 in the scoring column, actually 5. Well, 4 have actually scored. Clarence Brigady with 2, their point guard. Moose Nika has had some very important perimeter shots for them and has 8 points. It's Horton, Eddie Horton, the sophomore 6'8" center with 4. And Leslie Lee, who normally scores about 11 points a game, has not scored as yet in the ball game. In fact, hasn't played a great deal. Mark Alstad played quite a bit in the first half. And, of course, you've got Kevin Gamble, a 17-point-per-game scorer with just 5 points. So, as what frequently will occur in a crucial state tournament game, if you can keep some of those lofty scorers away from anything close to their average, your chance of winning the ball game is very, very good. We're being entertained here tonight by the Lincoln Way High School pep band out of New Lenox, Illinois.
He plays the game. Seems very unperturbed.
I think it'll be a great game, and I think we'll have a great second half here, too, as we go with East St. Louis Lincoln leading Lanphier 25-19 at the half. Arthur, you ready for the second half?
Indeed I am, and those semifinal games are never dull, gentlemen, no matter what the matchup. And Thornton of Harvey is waiting in the wings to see which one of these ball clubs they'll oppose tomorrow. Moving to your right, as you view it in the second half, will be the gray-clad Lanphier Lions in the bright orange uniforms, East St. Louis Lincoln. Mr. Horn leaping against Kevin Gamble, and we're underway with the second half. East St. Louis has it. Calvin Pfeiffer picked up his 3rd foul late in the game's second period. He's starting the second half. Here's Baron Wilson looking at the 3-2 Lanphier zone defense, a 25-19 lead belonging to Calvin Pfeiffer and company, the defending state champions out of East St. Louis. They turn it over. Antonio Rhodes is starting the second half. Chapman is the ball player that is not out there. So they're going with Mark Dale, Roderick Horn, Calvin Pfeiffer, Baron Wilson, and Antonio Rhodes on the floor for East St. Louis Lincoln. All right, here is Kevin Gamble for Lanphier to the timeline. Cross court to Leslie Lee to Nika. Nika on the move. He can't get it to drop. 2 men on the ball, but getting rid of it quickly enough is Antonio Rhodes, and the rebound goes to Horn. Roderick Horn down quickly. East St. Louis Lincoln to the baseline. Baron Wilson turns it over. Picked off by Leslie Lee, and Lee starts it back up the floor for Lanphier. Both of these clubs can play under control. Both can take the faster tempo, which means you have about everything in your arsenal there is in basketball. All to be inbounded by Lanphier. Lanphier trailing 25-19. Just underway. Game's 3rd quarter. Pull-up jumper. Nika got it.
Right from his spot.
10 points for Moose Nika, 6'5", 185 a junior.
I don't think he's been on the right side of the basket offensively all night.
Looking at a shot chart, you'd see a bunch of grapes over there on the left side. Really a pack of grapes.
You're absolutely correct. Power move by Horn, but he caught one of the defenders. I believe Nika sagged back there. We're going to find out in a minute. Let's see who got him.
Well, that one, that was a good call. I'd say that it was a legitimate situation.
All right, the Lions inbound. After the foul on Horn, here's Clarence Brigady. Brigady off to Nika. 25-21 ball game. 4-point lead to East St. Louis Lincoln. Leslie Lee got the ball inside to Eddie Horton. Horton juggled it momentarily, but it was deflected out of bounds at the last instance by one of the East St. Louis Lincoln players. Might have been Mark Dale down there.
You know, we reserve the word potential for high school players, and that word just is stamped all over the shirt of number 24.
Yeah, it sure is. Ed Horton, Springfield Lanphier, 6'8", sophomore center. It's unusual to see a sophomore with the fluidity of movement that Mr. Horton possesses, too, at that height.
Right.
Micah looking, and they're looking as Piper moved out on him. Here's Gamble, got it. Kevin Gamble with that pull-up jumper on the baseline. He was into about 6 feet. 25-23, and the East St. Louis Lincoln lead has been narrowed to a pair.
Fine shooter.
Tigers bring it up. Still the 3-2 zone for Lanphier's Lions. Around the zone defense is Pfeiffer. Antonio Rhodes on the way. Another
Tough
one.
shot. Tough shot. Very difficult shot.
10 points for Rhodes. 27-23. 4-point lead.
That shot in the ACC would be worth 4.
That's right. Here is Nika. Outer iron. Can't get it. Rebound Mark Dale. Dale is just Mr. Steady out there. Down quickly to Pfeiffer. Dishes off left to Horn. He's clobbered. Clarence Brigady all over him. Foul is on Brigady, his second. First team foul in the second half, tagged on the Lanphier Lions.
You said Dale just Mr. Consistent as you take a look at the replay.
Yeah, here he goes. He's made a fine pass in there, and of course there's no doubt about what they intended to do here in terms of that shot.
I think one of the most amazing statistics here is Mark Dale's average of 14 rebounds a game.
Well, he is a splendid athlete. He really is. The quickness, the size, the ability to blow off the floor as he does. And I guess he's committed to University of Cincinnati, but I wonder who his coach is going to be.
Well, the word is out yet on that one. There's a lot of jobs open right now.
Well, they're starting to open up quite a bit, aren't they?
Ed Badger's been relieved of his duties there, and since he has not named a new coach, Brigady to Moose Nika. Left side, Campbell, he got it.
Well, there's another bunch of grapes over there in that left baseline area, and a shot chart that we would examine for Lanphier with Gamble and Nika over there. They just
27-25, East St. Louis Lincoln on the perimeter, and right back with it is Antonio Rhodes again. They're just playing basket for basket right now. I think it would concern me where I bob Nika, Ron, is the fact they're getting nothing inside.
Right, right. I was just going to remark that both teams are doing classically what you're supposed to do against zone defenses to beat them. That's a hit from the outside. But they seem to rely on that too heavily.
Well, Lanphier in particular has had trouble getting the ball inside. Now there's Gamble on the perimeter again, missing this trip. Nika skied for the rebound, and Baron Wilson will make the play in for East St. Louis Lincoln. The official doesn't use the word orange, he yells red.
He said something to Baron Wilson about
I think it's that guy from LaGrange. I'm going to have to talk to him about that.
I'll tell you, I wish you'd get him straightened out, because those uniforms are about as orange as you can get. Ball's loose on the floor. Here is Brigady from Leslie Lee. 29-25, a nail-biter in the offing here in the Assembly Hall. Final game, quarterfinal round. Horton holds it, has the ball deflected away. Good helping defense by Roderick Horn on the inside. 2-3 zone for East St. Louis Lincoln. There's Horton, the sophomore. Bullseye. 29-27, East St. Louis Lincoln down to 2. So was a Gamble in the middle.
That was Gamble.
I'm glad you straightened me out. And that surprised me because it's the first time Gamble's taken a shot in that position.
That's right, in that particular area. Now, incidentally, you have to know that was a Blue Jay. Yeah, it's contrasted to the PJ.
A Blue Jay, huh?
Anything in a blue.
Okay. We're learning a lot today, Frank. It's been a very educational experience.
We'd be in real trouble if that lane were red, though.
That'd be a red for us up.
Got a lot of new phrases today, I'll tell you.
29-27, East St. Louis Lincoln. I beg your pardon, and thanks for the correction, fellas. Gamble at the 6-point quarter. Free throw is no good by Roderick Horn. He'll have one more throw. Now, that's an area that might be a trend-setting type of thing for Lanphier, because when they're playing well, they like to use Gamble around that free throw line area. He's been a baseline shooter throughout this evening. Second throw by Roderick Horn is good. John Deere and your local John Deere dealer are happy to have you with us for the Class AA tournament. Be sure to join us again tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock. High school basketball, the two biggest games of the year for the AA golf.
The Final Four. The Final Four.
Semifinal round. Starts at 11:15 tomorrow. We'll be with you at 11.
We've got Lincoln back in that 1-3-1 zone this time. It's opening up that baseline for that kind of move. And, of course, Gamble, that's home grounds for him.
Gamble's had a solid ball game, 11 points out of his club's 27, but East St. Louis Lincoln playing the very poised game, leading by 3, 30-27 with 3:33 left to go in the third quarter. All right.
This is WICS Springfield.
Back off to Gamble. He launches it, won't go. Great rebound by Roderick Horn of East St. Louis Lincoln. He yanks her down off the iron.
He really grabbed that one.
To Calvin Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer dribbled right up to Moose Nika at the point of that 3-2 zone and backed off. Here's Pfeiffer, number 22, to the baseline. And we're going to have a foul whistled on Kevin Gamble.
The thing about Pfeiffer is that he can accelerate on his third step. His first step could be to one degree. The second step could be maybe to a greater degree, but on that third one, look out.
Right. Baron Wilson will trigger the ball in. 5'11" guard for East St. Louis Lincoln. There's a play to Antonio Rhodes, and he got it again.
Tell him that the outside shooting in this ball game has just been...
Rhodes now with 14 points. 32-27. 5-point lead for East St. Louis Lincoln once again with 2:57 to go in the third quarter. Lanphier has closed within 2. Can get no closer against the defending state kingpins. Left side. Moose Nika, the baseline. Double team over there out of the zone. He clears it to Leslie Lee. Lee top of the circle to Gamble. Gamble is 6'7", remember. Here's Clarence Brigady. Brigady to Lee. Lee trying to penetrate. Pulls it up. Got it in. Basket counts. Foul by Mark Dale.
Art, do you remember on the pregame interview, Benny Lewis told me that East St. Louis Lincoln was giving up too many baskets inside. Well, they haven't in this game up until about now.
But yet on this particular move, as you'll notice, if this is the move, yes, this is the move where he just simply attacked the seam of the defense. He went after the seam, attacked it, made that defense commit, which it did not do, and gave him that easy bank shot.
Really not much of an inside bucket either. It originated on the perimeter. Free throw is good by Leslie Lee, but Benny Lewis's club, as Frank points out, has been very stingy inside this evening. Timeout with 2:35 to go in the third period. We got a 2-point ball game. East St. Louis Lincoln 32, Springfield Lanphier 30 score, 2-pointer.
We were remarking about hitting from the outside against the zone, but that move that Lee just put on was a classic example of attacking the seams of the zone and going after it. It's like Rommel did with the Desert Rats. You know, they just went after you. You know, they found an opening and they just attacked it.
Interesting analogy as the ball is inbounded now by the Tigers. They bring it across. Here's Calvin Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer to Baron Wilson. Calvin Pfeiffer holding. Into Roderick Horn. His turnaround, Karam's off, and now Lanphier with a chance to tie this thing up. The Lions have the basketball, and it's the sophomore with the rebound, Ed Horton.
You know, he's rebounded very well ever since Coach Stanker corrected him for the mistake he made early in the ball game when he brought the ball down and got it slapped out of his hand.
Right.
Since that time, he's been a force.
Leslie Lee to Gamble, back out to Lee. He has Brigady on his left. There's Brigady with the basketball, number 22. Leslie Lee to Nika, back to Brigady. Back to Lee. Lee tries to penetrate, pulls it up, got it.
Same move.
Same result.
Same result.
5 points all of this period in rapid-fire succession. We got a deadlock ball game at 32-32. Pfeiffer steps inside, guns it, got it. Calvin Pfeiffer counters for the Tigers. He with 8 points, 34-32. East St. Louis Lincoln by a pair. Leslie Lee driving around Pfeiffer. On the right wing now circles back out to Brigady, off to Lee. They go to Kevin Gamble. Gamble holding high. Right back to Leslie Lee. Lee to Kevin Gamble, driving down the lane. Shot was blocked, gets it back, reverse, and got it.
Super move. Great play along the baseline and great alertness on his part in terms of getting his own rebound.
That deadlocks it at 34. Reverse layup by Kevin Gamble. In the middle to Roderick Horn. He returns the bucket. First field goal for Roderick Horn.
Defense was a little passive that time for Lanphier.
36-34. East St. Louis right now playing basket for basket with the Lions, and as a result, maintaining that 2-point lead. Lanphier looking for the tying bucket with 50 seconds to go in the third period. Leslie Lee out front. Two good, solid high school basketball teams. Whoever wins this one will have a very interesting battle with Thornton tomorrow. In the middle, the sophomore, Ed Horton. There's the soft jumper. They flash Horton in the middle of his own defense. He nets it to tie it at 36-36.
Well, there's the Blue Jay, Art.
Indeed it was. A jump shot in the paint. Baseline jumper, switched by Mr. Pfeiffer.
See who wants the ball when the game's on the line.
That's experience.
And a foul on Antonio Rhodes, his second. Pfeiffer wants the basketball, and he even did last year, Frank. as a junior.
Classy player.
Well, we have a 38-36 ball game. East St. Louis Lincoln by 2. 19 seconds left to go for the third quarter. May turn out to be the best ball game of the quarterfinal round. Who knows? It's been airtight throughout. Briggity to Moose Nika. Back to Briggity to Lee. Right side to Gamble. No good, and a collision on the rebound. Nika was there.
Nika went over the top on that one. He was slightly out of position, and of course, inside. You see after the shot, of course, there's a classic example. Shot from one side, one miss going off on the other side, and the East St. Louis player had inside position. Nika went over the top.
So Moose picks up his first personal foul. That's team foul number 3 in the second half on Lanphier, and only 3 on East St. Louis. Well, Calvin Pfeiffer showed he's strong anyway. Launched it from behind the 10-second line up over the backboard, and that's it after 3. East St. Louis Lincoln, 38. Lanphier 36, as you see, and one of your net gets a little interesting before it's over with.
17-13 Lanphier in that quarter, and now it's a 2-point lead for East St. Louis Lincoln. 8 minutes of basketball, and then we'll have 4.
Maybe we'll have 8 more minutes. It may go beyond that. Who knows?
That's right. At the rate we're going, very likely we're going to see bonus time.
38-36, East St. Louis Lincoln, and the opening jump after a little bit of a scramble in the final quarter belongs to Leslie Lee and the Lanphier Lions. Moose Nika to Briggity to Lee. Capital Conference champions. There's Gamble in the corner, wearing number 40. Ed Horton, the center, trying to bang around the inside. Clarence Briggity. Up and off. Leslie Lee with the board.
Great rebound.
Lee has really played well in the second half.
Come up with some clutch plays in this half.
He really plays taller than 6 feet.
And he got him here. It was his shot that won the super sectional over Bob Basarich's Lockport Township Ball Club. 38-38, and Baron Wilson shot no good. Skying for it is Roderick Horn. Ball is wrestled clear in a jump ball situation. Horn and Lee will jump. Roderick Horn has been a big factor in this ball game and has only scored 3 points. Mark Dale has not scored in the second half, and he too has been a big factor, but the vast majority of the point production has come out of Calvin Pfeiffer and reserve Antonio Rhodes, who plays both inside and outside, but has gotten most of his on the perimeter. The 2 zones have been outstanding. Here's the jump between Lee and Horn. Batted off, controlled. Antonio Rhodes for nothing. Spun out on him. Gonna say for 2. Didn't get it down. Ball spun out. Rebound. Kevin Gamble. Lanphier with a chance to take the lead. They could go up. Kevin Gamble on the baseline for the Lions. His shot hit the side of the backboard and will be out of bounds to East St. Louis Lincoln. Kevin got himself pinned just a bit too deep on the baseline.
Yeah, I really wonder if he knew where he was when he shot the ball.
I guarantee if Lanphier would have hit a basket then, this place would have erupted.
Oh, you better believe it. A lot of Lanphier fans here. Big Springfield delegation. Baron Wilson, well, that was Antonio Rhodes, pushed it up out there and couldn't get it down. Well, Lanphier again with a chance to take the lead. Bob Nika is standing up in front of the Lanphier bench with a towel in his hand. You can see him down lower right-hand corner of the screen. And Lee was fouled as Calvin Pfeiffer picks up foul number 4.
Right there.
There's the stats through 3 periods. Lanphier 17 of 39, 43%. East St. Louis Lincoln, same number of buckets, 17 of 38, 44%. Free throws. Lions 2 of 6. Tigers 4 of 8. Rebounds 22, 25. East St. Louis Lincoln the edge, and turnovers 8 for the Tigers to 6 for Lanphier. We have a timeout. 6:37 for the ball game. Take your pick. Springfield Lanphier 38. East St. Louis Lincoln 38, and one of your networks.
There you see the score in the 4th quarter with 6:37 left. The Class AA tournament, co-sponsored again this year by DeKalb Pfizer Genetics. The more than 1,100 DeKalb Pfizer Genetics dealers here in Illinois invite you to join us again next week for the girls' championship games.
Leslie Lee at the line, shooting 2, can give Lanphier the lead. He does. Lanphier Lions down, what were they in the second quarter? Down as much as 7. Memory serves me correctly, have now nudged on top, 39-38. Second throw to Leslie Lee, back iron. Lee gets the rebound.
Lee has really come out in this half.
Played a great second half, no question about it. Ball came off long.
And that's what he does so well, is to challenge that zone.
Lee to Briggity to Nika, back to Lee. And he's got East St. Louis Lincoln concerned mightily right now, you can be assured of that. They're posting Horton inside, little soft fadeaway. Horton gets it down, and Lanphier leads it by 3 at 41-38 with 6:10 to play. Across the Tigers, defending state champions, Roderick Horn got it. Horn's second field goal of the ball game and his 5th point. He was in the paint and easily popped in that short jump shot. Briggity against the double team. Lanphier 41, East St. Louis Lincoln 40. Nika back to Briggity. To Leslie Lee, to Clarence Briggity. Briggity on that left wing to Nika. Moose is free for the jumper. Got it. Moose Nika gets it down, and it's 43-40. Lanphier by 3 once again. East St. Louis Lincoln across on the attack. Calvin Pfeiffer to Barron Wilson. Wilson looks right to Antonio Rose. Low to Mark Dale. Off the glass. Won't go. Great rebound. And again, it's Leslie Lee rising to the 4. Lee yanks it out of there.
What's happened here increasingly is the defense has been keying to Gamble. It's been keying to Nika, and it's been opening up Lee. And, of course, the last basket by Horton.
Lee, of course, came in with 10.9 average. Right, 10.9 average. I know they have to really concentrate on Gamble and Horton, of course.
Lee is doing virtually what he wants out front.
43-40, Lanphier. Gamble pull up, got it. Kevin Gamble and the Lanphier Lions are surging right now. They lead 45-40 with 4:55 to play. Barron Wilson down for East St. Louis Lincoln on the perimeter. Long bomb, nothing but net from Antonio Rose. That from the twilight zone. 16 points for Rose. 45-42, Lanphier by 3. Not quite to the halfway mark of the final quarter. Leslie down the lane. Shot rolls off, loose on the floor. Taking it out of there is Gamble. We have a whistle and a foul. Barron Wilson.
Looks like Moose Nika, excuse me, Art, looks like Nika got hit in the face. He's holding his left eye. And see if we can see it.
Yeah, the scramble here, we'll see that, well,
I saw Nika caught his shoulder.
Nika caught one right there.
At any rate, Kevin Gamble's at the free throw line, and the situation, East St. Louis Lincoln now over the limit, and so it's a bonus situation for Gamble. Big free throw. No good. It's snatched out of there by Mark Dale. Lanphier leads by 3 at 45-42, but the Tigers have the basketball. Barron Wilson to Antonio Rhodes. He pulls it up. It's short. Pulled out of traffic by Kevin Gamble. Country Companies Insurance is presenting IHSA basketball for the 12th consecutive year. And your local Country Companies agent hopes you're enjoying our telecast. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. And Barron Wilson picked up a personal foul. Ronald, what'd you have to say there?
I was going to say that probably wasn't the kind of shot that they're looking for in a situation like that. The game is coming down, of course, to the nitty-gritty time now. We're getting right down to the final 4 minutes of a 3-point ball game. And I think patience, intelligence.
There's a fine line between shot selection and shot recognition sometimes, isn't there?
Yeah, I think of a word like wisdom kind of plugs into the whole scene.
At the line is Clarence Briggity. Back iron. Whoa, but a big rebound. Taken by Horton for Lanphier.
Oh,
he can't get it to drop. And there's old reliable for East St. Louis Lincoln. Mark Dale pulls her down. To Calvin Pfeiffer. 3:57 and counting. East St. Louis Lincoln with the basketball, trying to defend the state title. They're down 3. Pfeiffer at long range. Outer iron. No good. Gets his own board on the baseline left. Number 22, Calvin Pfeiffer. Gets off to Dale. Dale was hammered as he went to the basket. Foul is on Ed Horton. His third.
You see the move to the basket now, and the nice dish off. Could have traveled on that. Could have been a traveling play there, but a good block, but a little bit too much body probably. Looks like he got him at the hip.
Dale's going to shoot a pair. 45-42. On the year, Dale is only a 49%, not a 50% free throw shooter, 50 of 101. That one spun off the backside. Score remains at 45-42. There's not a lot of great free throw shooters on this East St. Louis Lincoln club, quite frankly.
Pfeiffer's the best.
Second throw by Dale, he got 1 of 2. That narrows the Lanphier lead to 2 at 45-43. Leslie Lee, of course, sparked that Lanphier comeback drive. Here's Lee bringing the ball across. Perspiration dripping from Leslie Lee. He's worked hard out there. Been a tough ball game. Been one of the best ball games of the tournament. On the drive, Lee. Shot no good. Tipped by Lee, no good. Roderick Horn with the board. Horton clears it for East St. Louis, down to Pfeiffer on the drive. No good. Rebound and a whistle. Whistle stopping play, and see who they're going to give it to.
Looks like the foul's on Nika.
Either Nika or Briggity. It's either 30 or 20. It's on Nika. Okay, there's the play once again. Here is Pfeiffer on the drive.
Yeah,
and
there's Nika right over the top of that one.
So Nika has now 2 personal fouls. 45-43. And again, East St. Louis Lincoln with a chance to tie this up at the free throw line. Now, Antonio Rhodes is the shooter. He's 2 of 2 there tonight. And he is going to be shooting 1 and 1. 45-43 Lanphier. Missed it. Rebound. All down by Ed Horton. Boy, there's a big miss. Horton with the basketball. Bob Nika, the Lanphier coach, up on his feet. He wants a timeout. Nika wants a timeout period. He's going to take it right now. So it's timeout for Springfield Lanphier. There you see the score in the 4th quarter and the time. The whole story right on your screen. And one against powerful Southwestern Illinois Independent East St. Louis Lincoln. And Lanphier leads it by a couple, 45-43. The winner will meet Thornton of Harvey tomorrow in the second ball game at 12:45. The opener tomorrow morning at 11:15. Chicago Marshall against Peoria Central's Lions. So, regardless of the winner here, you know you're going to have 2 great semifinal matchups tomorrow. All right, Lanphier against full court pressure. Inbounds to Les Lee. Leslie Lee bringing the ball to the time stripe, being hounded by Calvin Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer's all over him. They get the ball to Clarence Briggity. Briggity down low. The ball deflected away from Kevin Gamble. Ron Horton gets wrapped up with one of the East St. Louis players. And Ed Horton, I should say. And Horton picked up his 4th personal foul.
White, 2, 4, Adam. Over here, 1 and 1.
Here we'll see the scramble for the ball. And we see Horton is going over the top on that one. There's just too much bodily activity on that. He is guilty of the foul.
All right, let's see who's going to be at the free throw line. Well, on Horton, is that 5?
That's it.
Yeah, it is.
That is a real crucial call in this game with 2:59 to play, and the 6'8 sophomore will have to come out.
He leaves with 2:59 left, as Frank says, and there is Ed Horton. Picked up 3 of those fouls in the second half. And certainly is a big factor, not only the fact he scored 8 points, but his rebounding has been such a key tonight. And in the ballgame is Mark Allstott for him. Antonio Rhodes shooting 1 and 1. Got the first one.
I have a feeling that Mr. Horton's going to be back here again sometime in the very near future.
Yeah.
He gets to start, Bob Nika gets to start with Horton and Moose Nika on next year's team.
Not a bad starting spot at all, is it? Now Rhodes can tie it up with 2:59 here, and he does. 45-45. Lanphier's Lions with Vinnie Lewis on his feet, directing his ball club defensively, and Bob Nika wants another timeout. Nika wants to talk it over again. Of course, a different ball game now. He's lost 6'8" center Ed Horton on fouls. There's your situation. And the time, 2:51, and one of your network sponsors, John Deere. 2:51 left. The game is tied at 45-45. Bob Nika took the timeout. Do you expect the spread now? And
Well, he might do that, but I think that concern in that along that line would be the quickness of East St. Louis Lincoln.
a lot of time left. 2:47. Clock is rolling. Allstott to Leslie Lee. They now have Lee in the corner, number 22, in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. That's Leslie Lee.
Yeah.
Here's Briggity to Moose Nika. Nika meets little double-team pressure. Off to Clarence Briggity. To Nika to Allstott. In the middle they go this time to Kevin Gamble. Now remember, Ed Horton is fouled out, and here is Pfeiffer trying for the steal and flying over our way, and almost kept the ball in bounds. Made a great effort.
That would be the big concern. I think what it's going to boil down to when we get right down to nitty-gritty is Pfeiffer and Lee.
Well, quite possibly so.
See Nika occupying offensively the spot that Gamble was in. Gamble goes to Horton's spot, and Lee goes over to Nika's spot.
Right. Okay, here's Nika on the right wing to Briggity. They run it down to 2:08 to play. Lanphier still in possession. 45-45 ball game. Still a 2-3 zone for East St. Louis Lincoln. Mark Allstott on the left wing. Played quite a bit in the first half for Leslie Lee.
First, the risk here is you're removing offensive rhythm from your ball club.
A minute and 49 seconds left to play. 45-45.
sure they turn it over now, and they'll have to get back into the offensive swing of things. It may take a while for them to reestablish their rhythm.
And how soon do you shoot? I mean, there's been no penetration here whatsoever. It looks like, and now Gamble got it. Well, that's the answer to that question. Gamble slipped inside and got the drive-in layup home.
0, count it.
Here we'll see the great pass from Lee going right to the outside hand of Gamble. Gamble gave him a bit of a target hand there toward the baseline, and I'll tell you, this kid Lee does a lot of the detailed kinds of things that we can all appreciate. He saw that hand and just flipped that quick pass to him and took him right to the basket. Great momentum, and he completes a 2-point play.
Lee grabbed the rebound and scored. Gamble missed the bucket.
Which became a 4-point play with Mr. Lee rebounding the ball.
49-45. Gamble had the field goal, missed the free throw to complete the 3-point play. Leslie with the follow. Here's Antonio Rhodes at long range, no good. Reverse layup attempt by Calvin Pfeiffer. Rolls out of there, and Kevin Gamble with a big rebound for Lanphier with 1:12 to go. Springfield Lanphier with a 4-point lead. East St. Louis Lincoln now really has to apply the pressure. Bob Nika against the double team. Antonio Rhodes was on him very quickly, and also Baron Wilson.
There's a concerned Benny Lewis. Moose Nika will be going to the foul line at 77%.
Lanphier fought the uphill battle in this one. They trail by as much as 7. They've lost their fine sophomore center on fouls, Ed Horton. East St. Louis Lincoln trailing by 4 with 1:03 left. Nika 1-1 for the Lions. Got it.
Well, he gave that odd point, which they need at this stage.
50-45, Lanphier. One more throw coming to Moose Nika. Second throw by Nika. Good. He got a pair. 51-45. Lanphier by 6. 1 minute left. East St. Louis Lincoln has to hurry. Antonio Rhodes, pull-up jumper, baseline, got it out.
That fast.
Antonio Rhodes makes it 51-47. 52 seconds on the floor. Briggity. His shot misses, and the foul is going to be called on Baron Wilson. Wilson flew right down with him. And we're going to have a timeout taken here by East St. Louis Lincoln, I believe, Frank, with 48 seconds left.
1-4 on the shot. We're going to number 20. Red timeout. Red timeout.
Well, there is a timeout being taken by East St. Louis Lincoln and Frank Pisoni.
John Deere and your local John Deere dealer are happy to have you with us for this Class AA tournament. We've had a delightful day, and be sure to join us again tomorrow morning, starting at 11 o'clock. We have, hope if you're enjoying our basketball coverage, you can drop us a note. We'd love to hear from you. Write high school basketball, Box 678, Bloomington, Illinois, 61701. That's Box 678, Bloomington, Illinois, 61701. 48 seconds separates East St. Louis Lincoln from its defense of its title. And Lanphier has itself a 4-point advantage with those 48 seconds, as you see Coach Bob Nika shooting for his 28th victory this year, talking to his talented team.
Boy, Leslie Lee has really made a difference. It's difficult to single out any singular ball player in a ball game of this sort. But Lee, as Ron, you have pointed out repeatedly, does so many things, and really he got the Lions on track, because up to that point, I felt East St. Louis Lincoln was in pretty good shape.
Yeah, he does those things that don't show up in a box score. That was a great assist off that delay game. He saw that target hand out there and delivered the goods.
Only scored 10 points, but certainly has contributed mightily. All right, our situation, we're down to 48 seconds. Clarence Briggity is going to be at the free throw line for Lanphier, and Clarence on the season, hopping a minute, a 52% clip on 15 of 29.
Briggity is a cousin to Ed Horton, who fouled out, the sophomore, and he's got 2 throws. Rebound
grabbed by Roderick Horn, but it's to no avail, of course, because of one more shot coming. Now Les Lee says to Briggity, says, relax. Clarence put it in the hole. 48 seconds, all that remain. Lanphier by 4, make it by 5. As Clarence Briggity got down 1 out of 2.
Got that odd point.
52-47. Here's Calvin Pfeiffer, brilliant player for East St. Louis Lincoln. Long jumper will not go. Baron Wilson was knocked to the floor. The rebound, Leslie. It's 3-on-1 to Nika for the drive, and he's fouled. Hooked by Pfeiffer. That's going to be all for Calvin Pfeiffer, I believe. 36 seconds remaining. Pfeiffer had to commit the foul, had to stop the drive-in because already Lanphier leads it by 5 at 52-47. And Pfeiffer indeed checks out maybe the end of a brilliant career at East St. Louis Lincoln that included a state championship. 10 points here tonight. He fouls out with 36 seconds left to go in the ball game. He is an all-stater, gentleman, on most of the all-state teams I've seen.
Outstanding player. Great quickness.
Indeed, a standout. Nika is at the free throw line. He'll be shooting 2.
Certainly he's an all-stater.
Oh, yeah. Moose Nika at the line for Lanphier's Lions. Got the back iron, caromed away. We'll be with you tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. First semifinal ball game to match Chicago Marshall and Peoria Central. The second one, Thornton of Harvey. And it looks now like Springfield Lanphier. Nika's second throw. Moose got 1 of 2. 53-47 Lanphier. Down quickly, Barron Wilson trying to take up the slack. Pfeiffer is fouled out. A shot was blocked on the inside. Barron Wilson scrambling forward with number 14. Got her back, launches another jumper. On the rebound with 24 seconds left. Here's a foul against East St. Louis Lincoln. We can review the scoring as it stands. There's nobody's had a really fantastic scoring evening as far as that's concerned. For East St. Louis Lincoln, the foul was called on Freddie Towns, who came in the ball game when Pfeiffer fouled out. For Lanphier at this point, 17 for Kevin Gamble, Leslie Lee with 10, Ed Horton has 8, Clarence Brigady 3, Moose Nika with 14. Mark Allstott just picked up his first point of the evening. He's at the free throw line. Makes it 54-47. For East St. Louis Lincoln, the scoring leader with 20, Antonio Rhodes. 10 points for Calvin Pfeiffer. Allstott next, the second one. 55-47. Those are your scoring leaders insofar as the Tigers are concerned. Horn at the baseline, lost the ball, fired it back in. Nika intercepts. Ball is still loose. Scramble for the loose basketball. They're going to call it jump with 14 seconds left. Mark Dale has 7 points thus far this evening for East St. Louis Lincoln. Starter Dwayne Chapman didn't score. Barron Wilson had 4 points. So 14 seconds separate Springfield Lanphier from a date with Thornton of Harvey tomorrow afternoon in the 12:45 ball game here at the Assembly Hall.
2 teams with 27 wins in the first game, 2 teams with 28 wins in the second.
Should be a great morning and afternoon, Frank.
Great Final Four.
Frank Bassoni will work the early morning. Long-range jumper by Antonio Rhodes, no good. Rhodes has played brilliantly. Had a great ball game tonight for East St. Louis Lincoln.
You have established that, Arthur. I accept.
Yes, clearly. Well, I didn't want you to forget, Frank.
Okay.
Inbounded to Dale. The ball is slapped away, rolls out of bounds with 7 seconds left to go. Once again, East St. Louis Lincoln will trigger it in. It's all over but the shouting in this one. Play to be made into Horn. Horn drive. Shot is swatted out of there by Allstott, I believe. And on the drive, Leslie Lee goes to the hoop. The ball game is all over. We'll see if the foul occurred after the basket was scored. They say it occurred after the action. Here are the coaches shaking hands. Bob Nika, the winner for Lanphier, and of course Benny Lewis from East St. Louis Lincoln. So that's the story on our coverage tonight. Lanphier knocks East St. Louis Lincoln out of the state tournament. The defending champions did not defend successfully. The final, Lanphier 55, East St. Louis Lincoln 47. Earlier tonight, Thornton of Harvey over Bennett Academy 56-43. This afternoon, Chicago Marshall and Peoria Central both winners. That's the story from the Assembly Hall. We'll see you with our coverage tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, the semifinal round of the state tournament. This is our